Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another one of my live streams, and welcome to In Your Face. We got a lot of ground to cover. The weekend is here. We've got a lot to do starting tomorrow, and it's going to begin tonight, actually, but it's going to go into tomorrow. Morning, Chairman. It's good to see you, buddy. We got a heck of a weekend planned out, and hopefully we can squeeze it all in. It's going to be a wild ride this weekend. We got a lot to do, and hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to get some stuff done. We're going to get a lot done. So we're going to actually get to we're actually going to be talking about the prep work that goes into a weekend like this. It's going to be a busy weekend. Busy weekend here on the channel. My weekend doesn't exactly start till tomorrow morning, but it's going to be pretty busy. Hey, what's going on, Mikey G? What's going on, Think Different? My goodness, that's what's up. We got the crowd, we got the whole gang showing up right now. Kevin Myers, thank you for that big shout out video, Kevin. Appreciate that, man. Left you a nice little comment. Good to see you. We are doing really good. Really good. Princess Faye, though, we've been working so much. She's kind of expressed her problems with us working so much. We don't get to see each other as much as we'd like to. So we talked about that, and we're going to try to solve some of those issues this weekend, hopefully. That seems to be the normal. We don't argue about money. We argue about time. We don't get enough time with each other. So hopefully we could slow down a little bit this weekend. I'm hoping. Don't. Well, we're actually going to talk a little bit about some changes that are going to start happening here on YouTube. Oh, I appreciate that, Kevin. I like your little short videos. They're really nice. And it's really neat to see you on the other side of the camera. It's really neat to see that. I enjoyed that. It's a nice change of pace. You sound like a good old Southern boy, you know? It's kind of a nice change of pace. And I mean that as a compliment. Yeah, it took you a minute to get there. When are you going to start uploading some neat videos for us, Sean? What are you going to upload? I want to see what you're going to do. Watch Sean be like some, chef that belongs in a 5-star restaurant. Put me to shame. That's what's up. It's good to see you all today. You gonna set up Twitch soon? All right. Well, tonight, it's not going to be a super long stream like normal because we're going to be getting our watch hours starting tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, after I got to go to work for a couple hours. Oh, I meant that as a compliment, Kevin. There's nothing wrong with a good old Southern boy. I've hung out. I got sober with a bunch of good old Southern boys, and them guys. I'll tell you right now, they're top notch. I mean that. They're good people. Matter of fact, one of the people I got sober, that helped me along the way in sobriety, believe it or not, was actually an old Cajun boy, and worked the railroad for many years. Good old Southern boy. He Cajun, so he's really Southern, out of Louisiana, and just really a nice guy. So tonight, well, believe it or not, when I was still working nursing, I spoke like if you knew I was out, that I was directly out of, near the St. Louis area, but at the same time, you also knew grew up around a Latino well, I say Latino, we didn't find out till later that that I was Native American. So it it's one of those things that we all it was spoke with a Latino accent, but at the same time, you could definitely tell I was out of St. Louis area. So when I moved down here and started working in the medical field, I still had that accent. Well, a lot of people didn't trust me, so I had to teach myself how to speak a little bit more like I was an old Southern boy, so my residents would trust me a little bit. So when I get around my family, if right. Well, that's why we call it Native American. Evidently, though, I'm so Native American that I just found out that I actually have more Native American than I thought. That's what's up. I don't mind. I don't mind a raid on my channel every now and again. It's a nice change of pace. And I know a lot of people have been enjoying the raid streams. We're going to try to set that aside for Wednesdays. Wednesdays is my hardest day for content. Uh, when I take my day off, which it was Monday, but we moved it to Tuesday so I can be on Ian's stream. There you go. Honestly, sometimes I shorten it to native. I don't like that. I think that's kind of silly. Um, I, I've always, right. And you wouldn't be wrong there. Uh, Sometimes you still hear an old timer walk up and still call us Indians, which I don't mind that. It just, it's easier for the people to say, and I know some other Native Americans get really pissed off about that. Like, look, I mean, I get it. I mean, but the thing of it is that's what we've always been called. Get over ourselves. Let it go. You know, it's not like Oh yeah, you got a lot of friends there, Kevin. I was really impressed by the amount of people that were commenting on your videos. I was really impressed with that. How you're not at 1,000, I don't know. I don't know. That's like you and Ian both. You, Ian, Mikey G, so many of you that run your channels and work hard on them. I don't know how in the hell you guys are not at, 1,000 or better. Like even bigger than my channel could ever even possibly imagine. What's going on, Hector? We're getting ready to kind of start talking about going into the weekend. Now, a lot of this pertains to the weather. So, one of the problems we've been running into is what are we going to do the next day? And that's been a lot of problem. Don't say that, Chairman. I'll tell you right now. Okay, don't beat yourself like. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. We're still live. We're still live. Don't run off yet. Sorry about all that. Take two. Chairman, let me say right now, that's not fair to yourself. I mean, you got to start somewhere. And when I started my channel, I mean, it was a grassroots movement, definitely a grassroots movement. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of that. It's the weekend. A lot of people are going live right now or uploading videos. So poor YouTube right now is taking a beating. Which brings me to something very interesting. The YouTube gamers, oh, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that, man. The YouTuber Markiplier, I haven't seen the video yet, but I was told about it today. He went and basically somebody he knows who he's friends with here on YouTube, and Markiplier is a much bigger YouTube channel. He's got a much bigger YouTube and Twitch channel than we do here on the Prince Magnum channel. And hey, Pineapple Pizza, welcome to the live stream. We're kind of preparing for the weekend, and you follow Markiplier? Well, he actually kind of went and did something, and YouTube took notice in a good way. So they're backing off of us content creators a little bit. So thank goodness they did that. Welcome, Pineapple Pizza. We're kind of getting, the first part of the stream, about the first 10 to 20 minutes, we kind of chill out and kind of get caught up on current events. And then we kind of go into what we're doing for the day. Today, we're kind of just going over what we're looking at for the weekend. And I had to do a lot of prep work. Right now, my kitchen is a disaster at the moment. And being that the kitchen is a disaster, I can't do any cooking. I got to go to work for a couple hours tomorrow, but it's just for a couple hours. And then the rest of the weekend is mine. So I can't do anything to Project Spirit. We haven't picked up the paint to finish up the bicycle project. So we're kind of, at that quandary where we can't go anywhere just yet. We can't do anything just yet. So we got to kind of step back and what are we doing what are we looking at doing? And we got a lot to do this weekend. We got a lot to do. So weather permitting, we are going to be getting to work on Project Spirit tomorrow, and we're going to be going live a lot sooner than usual. Okay. Kind of expect, I'm going to say about 10 o'clock my time, Central Standard US time. Okay. So for me, what'll be about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be getting up and making Princess Faye breakfast in bed. Basically there was this one channel that did kind of like this goofy comedy video where 4 guys were dressed up as like cartoon characters, and it was like a whole road rage thing. And these 4 guys dressed up as comic book characters dragged this guy out of his vehicle and beat him up. Okay. And everyone knows it was a joke. Well, YouTube gave the person a real community strike. Okay. And I'll go into that in a second, the difference between an actual community strike and a copyright strike. Okay. Because one really doesn't mean diddly dick and the other one does. Okay. So I'm going to actually explain that here in a moment. Being that I've got the channel that's over 1,000, you guys got to know the difference. Okay. So, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. But basically, they did this video and it was meant as comedy. And YouTube gave the person a community strike. Then Markiplier was like, where's my community strike? Because I showed part of this video in my do not laugh. That's what's up, Kevin. So YouTube gave him his community strike, and then they realized what was going on. Markiplier then called YouTube out and basically said, here are some things that I want to see happen. Number 1, YouTube needs to start trusting the community. And, they need to start paying a little bit more attention to what the community is saying, things like that. The community saying this person's doing bad things, you need to look at it, then they actually need to do it. You all have to understand that YouTube is a ginormous platform. And like I said, I haven't seen the statistics yet, but it was actually really interesting from what I have heard. Markiplier basically said something like 80 hours is uploaded to YouTube every minute. 80 hours of content. Thank you, Chairman. And it was really in depth. And the statistics were interesting, to say the least. So in essence, he basically stood up for the community. So hats off to Markiplier. Hats off to you. Um, and now that I've said that, let me also say that for a while I've been screaming that YouTube needs to back off the community. Thank you, Kevin. So he's a larger YouTuber, and I'm not a fan of Markiplier, but I'm slowly becoming now, because any big creator that's going to stand up for the smaller guys like us, like us in the community, that's a good thing. So now that I've said that, why isn't Markiplier bigger than PewDiePie, if you catch my drift? I'm not, basically, I'm not knocking anybody who's got big channels and who've worked that hard. Hey, fine, you worked your way there. Just remember where you came from. It's that grass to brass thing. For those of you who've been in the U.S. military, you know what I'm saying. That brass to grass concept. Don't forget where you came from, motherfucker. Anyhow, so that's the whole thing. So now that I've said all that, let me explain now the actual strikes. There are two types of strikes here on YouTube. There may be more, but I only know of two. The first one that I mentioned is the copyright strike. Okay. Yeah, he was the biggest for a long time. Somebody beat him out. I don't know. I looked at PewDiePie's channel for a little while and started looking at what he was doing and trying to figure out what he was doing right. So I'm right. So now that I've said that, that's as far as it goes. So now that I've said that, let's start with the actual strikes here on YouTube. Okay. The first thing is there is what is known as copyright strikes. Now, these strikes don't actually mean anything. It just means that if your channel is monetized, you cannot take credit for that video. You cannot get paid for it. So, in essence, like some videos that I have actually have copywritten music in them. And there is an allotted time frame that you can have. Exactly. But there's also there's a whole nother side of that. But in essence, okay, now that I've said that, that just basically means you can't take credit for that video. Now, there's another side of that, okay? You are allowed up to 10 seconds of copywritten material, up to 10 seconds only. After that, they get to lay claim to your video. Even though it is your video, you put the effort into it. Yes, you use their music, and I kind of think that's wrong. You really should get part of the credit. So it's like you both should split it. One side gets a little bit of money, the other side, gets the other half, and everybody's happy. But that's not the way YouTube works. Even though, again, and it boils down to larger corporations. So the copyright strikes do not mean dick, okay? It just means that if you're monetized, you don't get to monetize that video for yourself. The other the company that had, all right, Pineapple. Well, we'll be here for a little while. So that's kind of how it works. Okay, so if you've been wondering about that, that's how the copyright strike works. So it doesn't actually affect your channel. Now that I've said that, okay, there's another type of strike called the community strike. Now, the community strike is a whole nother ballgame. This is the one that gets you into trouble. And a community strike, you only get 3, okay? You only get 3 community strikes. And the way the community strikes works is if you're violating YouTube's policy. Number 1, don't be putting violent bullshit up here, okay? There are videos here on YouTube where you can see people getting beat up, you could see just all manners of law breaking here on YouTube. Uh, if you look hard enough, it's there. Okay, that should not be on YouTube. Okay, that's there. You know, unless you're covering it, unless you run a news related YouTube. Hey, Queen, welcome to the live. It's good to see you. We're kind of covering some ground today. Exactly. Okay, there you go. We're kind of preparing for the weekend, but right now I'm kind of clearing up some kind of some knowledge about YouTube. We're kind of covering some ground about the YouTube content and how it works and all that other stuff. But we got some other stuff to go over yet. So there's also what is known as content farmers here on YouTube. And it's stuff that really actually belongs on more like, what's going on, Simon? Yeah, exactly. And so now, you know, like YouTube, there's also what is known as YouTube content farmers. And these are like little videos that actually, yeah, which I had a video that I was working on that I had that was taken down a while back, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But now that I've said all that, the actual copyright strikes, you know, like the content farmers, they're taking away from actual creators, and a lot of their stuff doesn't work. So, in that regard, YouTube needs to actually start abiding by their own policy. So that is just something that, you know, is one of those things. And Markiplier actually called them out on this. And they made a public apology directly to the channels that were affected. And they're starting to actually follow their own policy. So that's just one of those things. So that's where all that is. And, you know, copyright strikes don't mean a whole lot on YouTube like you would think it does. But with the community strike, that's a whole nother ballgame. There was a video up, and eventually I'd like to do a review on it, how it was debunked. But there was a video that was done a while back that everyone thought might have been real. But come to find out, it was just some people doing some acting. And it was really amazing acting. I was impressed. Because when I seen the video, it scared the living shit out of me. I'm not kidding you. It scared the shit out of me. And it was amazing. I did another one a while back where I actually dove into kind of like an urban legend on YouTube, where it was a viral video where it looked like a baby was standing on the railing. And I did this like last year. And it was a lot of people were impressed by how I kind of looked at the video and possibly debunked it. And even did some of the filming of myself in black and white. It was really neat because the video footage was gotten on a nanny cam, you know. So really neat stuff. So now that I've talked about all that, in about a week, we won't be live streaming for close to like a week, coming up here soon. Princess Faye has requested that I take some time off. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time, this coming week doing a lot of, video editing. So you guys will still get edited content, but I'm going to spend a lot more time in a lot of you guys' streams and supporting you guys. Hey, what's going on, Mike? We got another Mike here. What's going on, Mike Hunt? Yeah, that's a good. You know, honestly, I don't even remember the name of it, to be honest with you. It was a good video. I'll have to go through and repost it. I know the one you're talking about, Chairman. Now, looking ahead at this weekend, we've got some work to do. We're going to go live, do a breakfast in bed for Princess Faye. It's going to be a really good one. I've got some great ideas in mind. So she's going to get her breakfast in bed come tomorrow. It's going to be a really awesome video. Well, it's not going to be a video. It's going to be live streamed later on in the day. Okay. Then later on tomorrow, we're going to go live again a lot earlier than usual. We're going to be doing some work to Project Spirit. Here in a little bit, we're going to kind of hook up the phone because my phone battery dies quickly when I'm live. But we're going to be doing some serious work to Project Spirit tomorrow because we're getting late in the summer and I've not done enough custom work to Project Spirit. We've done some little stuff here and there, but we got to, keep it. Basically, it's going to be part of the upkeep, but yet it's also going to be part of keeping up with Project Spirit's Inline 6 until we're ready to pull that bad boy and do the V8 swap, which won't be till next year. So now that I've said that, along with that, since we got a Sonny, one of my fellow Sonnies here in the chat, let's also cover Sunday is going to be, there will be a cooking stream Sunday. And let me tell you what it's going to be. The Sonnies are now doing a collab where it's a $10 cook-off. Again, we're doing another $10 cook-off from Dollar Tree. And that being said, I will be doing a $10 cook-off for the Sonnies as part of the collab. I have all of my supplies, and we're going to go over those supplies here just shortly. Along with that, we're also going to go over what's going to be used on Project Spirit tomorrow. MLG! In your face is kind of like, it's all about, telling y'all exactly what's up, okay? Telling you the honest to goodness truth. And I'm going to tell y'all, it is sometimes very difficult to plan out content, for the channel. So tonight, it just kind of ran into a wall. I got nothing, but it's one of those things I can't do anything till tomorrow, so why don't I go over what we're going to be doing this weekend? I wanted to do some work to Project Spirit. I can't do that till tomorrow because I need Project Spirit for tomorrow morning because I got to go to work for a couple hours. Okay. I can tell you two things that most people don't know about our government. Okay. MLG, there's really two governments here in the United States. Okay. And as sad as this sounds, the government that the general public, all of us that live here in the United States, the one that we elect is the one that's designed to give us the illusion that we're in control. No, we're not. Okay. There's other, and I know you're not part of this. I know you're not part of this. I know you're in the corporate world, but there's other corporations that are very, very ugly here in the United States. They're the ones that actually vote in the real government, what we sometimes call the shadow government. So that is the two governments that we know. Okay, Mike G. That's all right. That's all right. But that's the two governments that are here in the United States. So our current president, even though he's trying to shut down the shadow government, which is why he's catching so much flack from like the Democrats and all that. That's why he's taking the flack, okay? Because he's trying to take the control back. The Illuminati, that's corporations like the Bilderberg Group. Those are the ones you got to kind of watch. Skull and Bones, groups like that, and just not as much as you might think, but like the Freemasons, Not as much as you might think, but you guys get the general idea. Those are the ones that you got to watch, okay? So, yeah, they say Bill Gates is part of that. I honestly don't know. But, like, for example, there are certain corporations here in the United States that like to move factories, that we're moving factories to China. If you own a new car prior to 2016, there is an excellent chance if it was made in the United States, it wasn't actually made in the United States. Mm-hmm. Oh, really, Bill? That's interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that. Bill Gates is really kind of an interesting person. And most people wouldn't know he's autistic. So, what are we talking about? Well, we're kind of preparing for the weekend there, Supreme. Good to see you, buddy. So that's kind of the gist of it, okay? So, in a nutshell, there are certain corporations that are very ugly here in the United States. So, again, there's really two governments. There's one that's designed to give us the illusion that we're in control. The other one is actually in control. That's not how it's spelled. So, so now that I've said that, you know, it's not how it's spelled, and I know who you are. You know, that's just one of those things. For the most part, the Freemasons were they do have some connections to that shadow government, but not as much as you might think. Okay, as at one time they had more than they do, now. But then there were some scandals that came out, and thank you, Queen. I've seen that. Thank you so much. So more and more of this knowledge is starting to come out, and you know, and we can thank the current president for doing his part to expose that. Despite I know there are some people that do not like him, but I am not a Freemason. I am not a Freemason. Generally speaking, to really get into the high echelon, you've got to have money, and that is the problem. But generally speaking, that's just kind of how it works. So, a master mason, no higher up than that. You know the type I'm talking about. But I got nothing against the Masons. Most Masons are pretty cool people, anyways, which you are anyhow. So that's just kind of the gist of it. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know about, which I'm sure you're aware of, Supreme. You've told me some of the stuff you've come across, so you already know. But that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, he's done his best to keep us out of war, but it doesn't look like it's going to stay that way for long. China's starting to do some saber rattling. What's going on, Camp? Right. Remember what you told me you came across as your... There you go. There you go, Kevin. Oh, it's beautiful outside right now. There's people mowing lawns and everything else. But right now, the big bulk of what we're going to talk about today is what we're looking at doing this weekend. Let's start with Project Spirit. Project Spirit needs some work. It's not like she's falling apart or anything. I mean, she's got stuff that just needs to be taken care of. As part of keeping her as that one of a kind, we've got to redo some paint work. That's got to last us till this next year. And obviously, as part of the channel, it's got to look good, all that other stuff. So, in a nutshell, one of the things that has to be changed, it's been a while since we've done one of these. She needs a new PCV filter, positive crankcase ventilation. So we're going to be changing this little item out. This is a very inexpensive item. And Project Spirits has been on her for a good little while. So we're going to change this out tomorrow. And this is from our good friends at AutoZone. So we're going to be swapping that out as well. Along with that, we're going to be doing a fuel filter. Now with a fuel filter, she's been having a little bit of a harder time starting, and it's a little too soon for that to be happening. So we're going to spend a little bit of time tomorrow. We're going to be changing out her fuel filter. And most people don't know this. Project Spirit has 2 fuel filters installed into her. The one that most people would think of is the one on the carburetor, but that's not the case. So if you will, that's the first one, the first one. The second one is further down on the fuel line, getting closer to the gas tank, even though it's not that far. It's still inside the engine bay. I can actually just pop her hood and get right to it. So that's going to be this little item here, and we're going to change that out. Every couple of months, I have to change these, and these are also very inexpensive. I spend at most about $8 to $9, depending on what town I bought this in. So they're ridiculously cheap, but you always want to get a good one, so it'll last a little while. So I get maybe about 3 months out of it. If I try to push it to 4 and 5 months, she actually starts running really rough. And if you go longer than that, you'll actually be going down the highway and she'll be cutting out really bad. You'll get this surge and it shouldn't be there. So that's one of the reasons why we change these out regularly. Gasoline today is very dirty compared to what it used to be. It's not near as clean as it once was. When I was a teenager, gasoline was very, very clean. But if you talk to the old timers back then, a lot of the old timers said that gasoline, even at that time, wasn't nearly as good as it was back in the 60s and 70s. They would say that gasoline was much more pure and it ran a whole lot better. So we have to, because of that, we have to change out filters regularly on vehicles like Project Spirit. So we're going to be doing that as well. Along with that, propane is a very clean burning fuel. The problem is getting the same energy, the same performance level out of propane as opposed to gasoline. Gasoline is extremely volatile, and propane is not nearly as volatile as gasoline. So the energy potential is lower. So there are some people that have done propane conversions, but it is not cost effective because of the problems with it. However, I will say right now that the future for internal combustion, I might just, Simon, remind me tomorrow, please. Remind me tomorrow. I would love to be in your live stream. Please shoot me a message, something, so I know to come over and hang with you. All right. But the future for internal combustion engines is not where you think it is. It is in alcohol. And alcohol is the next actual future for internal combustion engines. And you might think that the future is electric cars. Hey, what's going on, Gamerian? BRFC. It's good to see you, buddy. So that's the future. And sometime I'm going to actually have to dive into how we could actually change the infrastructure here in the United States to actually rid ourselves of gasoline and and go completely to alcohol, and it would be a renewable energy source. We could still have performance vehicles, but electric cars are not the future just yet. They're not. We aren't there yet. Elena, Ella, I'm sorry, Ella. Welcome to the live stream. It is so good to see you. Here we are, the Prince Magnum channel live stream. We're kind of going over what we're going to be doing for the weekend. Okay. We ran into a wall. It's good to see you, Ian. It's good to see you, buddy. So we kind of ran into a wall today. The kitchen is a disaster right now, so I can't do any cooking. All of my projects have to be put on hold till tomorrow because just life. I'm doing good. Kind of preparing for the weekend. I do have to go to work briefly tomorrow. I've got a heavy clean to do. Like rubbing alcohol or drinking alcohol. Rubbing alcohol, you could use rubbing alcohol, but it takes time. And time is money. The other one to choose from, and drinking alcohol, you can make it quick, but the problem is you need a starch that converts to alcohol very quickly. Corn, they've been trying to do the corn fuel recently, and the E85, and that one is only in name only. I mean, it's not what you think it is. It still has gasoline in it, and we're still dependent on foreign oil. So that's completely worthless to us. Okay. So honestly, you need one that you can convert fast. Okay. And I want to save this for its own live stream. Yeah, Sean's moving up. Ian, I seen you're moving up, Ian. I'm getting excited. I'm getting really excited. By the way, Ian and well, see, the problem is, okay, that a lot of people want cleaner fuel, they want fuel efficiency, but the problem is that gasoline is still the best way to go right now, but we need to get away from it. And internal combustion engines have come a long ways since the 1960s. The 70s was really a time for change, and we really seen that. Not so much. It's just that I've been working a lot because of the pandemic. You know, so I had to put some things on hold. I got to work for a couple hours tomorrow morning, so I got to put my projects on hold. So because of that, I can't start anything tonight. I'm cleaning the kitchen, right now, so I can get some stuff done. So I got a lot of work to do between now and tomorrow. Now, again, we're going to be changing out Project Spirit's fuel filter, her PCV filter, positive crankcase ventilation filter, and we are going to be doing some paint work to Project Spirit's air cleaner. So the plan is hopefully you'll get to see Princess Faye in action doing some paint work. Ian, I know that gets you rocking and rolling right there. Along with that, electric cars are tethered by, it's obviously a lot bigger than this, but it's treated like a cellular device. Now, where I live, the electric companies still use coal. Not a joke. We still use coal for electricity here. This is a bad thing. We're not getting away. We're not getting away from fossil fuels. So with electric cars, even with the charging stations, they're not. We're not there yet. Okay. And I will say it right now, electric cars are a joke because I will not buy a car that does not come with an alternator. For those that don't know what I just meant, basically your car has to be charged. So you're limited by the amount of electricity that is stored up in the batteries. And batteries have a battery memory. Basically, if you're getting ready to make a long trip, say you make a lot of long business trips, you have to plug your car in. And let's say that it was at half charge. Well, you come back, maybe maybe you got that half charge, so you plug it back in because the next day you got to make a long business trip again. You keep doing that. Exactly. I don't even know. So I don't have a clue. So because of that, you gotta, you kind of have that whole thing going on where, say you charge it at half charge, and you keep doing that. Well, you eventually lose half of your battery life because of that. So a battery that might have lasted, we'll say around about, I'm going to say 7 years, will now only last for maybe 3. And then on top of that, the batteries have a hard time getting a charge in cold weather. So if you live in, say, like Canada, it takes several hours to get that thing fully charged. Or if you're like in Missouri, and our winters get ridiculously cold here in Missouri, we're talking with wind chill factor can get down to, right around 0 degrees Celsius with the wind chill factor. So now that I've said that, it gets extremely cold here in Missouri at times. So imagine trying to charge an electric car that already has a hard time charging in colder weather, and it's down around the freezing level. So this isn't very efficient, and so you got to take off, and it's just it's not working. What is the solution? Put an alternator on it. You turn the vehicle on, the alternator is turning, and it supplies electricity to the vehicle, keeping the battery charged all the time. That system seemed to have been working all the way back, even when we had 6-volt cars, cars that ran on a 6-volt system. The same exact setup has worked all this time. It's just gotten a little bit better over time. It's continued to work. So why in the hell are we not doing that with an electric car? You wouldn't have to plug it in. It would always stay charged. So I won't buy a car that doesn't come with an alternator. That's why I won't have an electric car. And by the way, I do have a design kind of tucked away up here that would actually work if I was with the right engineers, where you could have an electric car that does not need to be plugged in. Yeah, I said it. But I'm not giving it away. It's one of those things, I'm not doing that unless I'm getting paid. Right, exactly. So green technology, I will say that alcohol is the future for cars, which would be a hell of a thing getting pulled over in that. Sir, have you been drinking? Exactly. Yeah, look at the guy who came up with the hydrogen fuel cell. Yeah, he didn't make it. Of course, the hydrogen fuel cell is not the future either, despite what some people might think. Fuel vapor is not the future. It's alcohol. It's a renewable energy source, and it supports farming. Period. So there you have it. Okay. So there's my rant on the whole fuel thing. What the heck? Oh, you didn't have to. No, you don't have to. No. You don't have to stop that one. Yeah, coal generate. Yeah, same here. Coal electric. Yeah, I get it. So for the record, there is a way to make coal burn clean, but we just don't do it. because the stuff that comes out of coal can be turned into natural gas. And evidently, the companies that make propane don't like that. So they block that stuff. For the record, back in the 1970s, we did discover fuel efficiency, and we're going to kind of briefly go over that a little bit here on the channel tonight. So, for those of you who do love Project Spirit, we're going to go down here in a second, and we're going to take a look at good old Project Spirit. Okay, I know Ian's not. You know, he likes Project Lena a little bit more. Don't worry, Ian. We're going to get to Project Lena soon enough. We're going to get to her soon enough. Let's take a walk. I'm scared of the dark. Somebody hold me. Anyhow, so we're going to take a walk. Project Spirit. Project Spirit is my 1975 Ford Maverick four-door sedan. And we're going to even talk a little bit about the rarity of Project Spirit. Okay? Project Spirit is, at this point, a one-of-a-kind car. She's not done yet, okay? Kevin, you like that joke, huh? It is a good joke. So, there we are. So, this is Project Spirit. A 1975 Ford Maverick four-door MLG. This is the car that that everyone's very, very familiar with here on the channel. Okay, I've not had a whole lot of time to do enough work to her, so we're going to get some stuff done. Oh, okay, think different. It happens. It happens to us all. Her original six-cylinder from 1975, technically 1974. Still there, still running. Needs work. Okay, so what we're going to do tomorrow, it happens. We're going to pull off her air cleaner. That's going to get cleaned up, okay? We're going to clean that up, and we're going to put a new paint on it, and while we're in there, we're also going to put in a new air filter, so that will be taken care of. The fuel filter that I'm talking about, is, as best as I could show you, is right there. That is going to be replaced as well tomorrow. That's going to be pulled out and replaced. But the big part of the project is going to be right there on the air cleaner. We're going to redo this because, as you can tell, it's all banged up. Taking it on, taking it on and off, working on it, just life in general, okay? So we're going to clean this up. New coat of paint. There you go. And it's going to be all right again. You know, it's going to look good. And Princess Faye is going to do her amazing artwork on it. So that is the plan tomorrow, weather permitting. Along with that, we do have a cooking episode that we're going to do. No, Ian, we're not cooking fish. Try to do that one-handed. It is not as easy as it sounds. So that is Project Spirit. Now, eventually, here in the very near 100K for the car. Actually, that's about how much you're close to how much she's worth on the world market. You'll pay for the shipping. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could turn loose of her. I really don't think I could turn loose of her, be honest with you. She's got some dents and dings, very typical of any car after a little while, and that sort of thing. It's got a little bit of rust, needs to be redone, but let's climb in. She's a little dirty right now. You can tell I practically live out of her some days. She's got a lot of work that needs to be done. Brand new custom steering wheel. Right? You know, and she's definitely a one of a kind. Hang on here. I'm going to show you guys this. You guys are going to love this. This, again, is I am not left-handed. You could definitely tell that. All right, Project Spirit. I knew what you meant. All right, over here. This is what used to be the original ignition. This is the original key. That's an old style key. Goes in right like that. Turn that to the on position, but that does not start the car. That unlocks the steering wheel. Without that key, you can't turn the steering wheel. So that has to be turned to that position. By the way, the most annoying sound in the world. Exactly. Then you need this key. If I don't throw it back on the seat. That goes right here. Now the power is on. Okay? Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, y'all know this one. We're going to disengage the clutch and put her into neutral. She does not have a neutral safety switch. Okay? But this key does not turn her, start the car. This button does. Give a moment for the oil to reach the top end. And now, for those of you who do not know, the original engine, there's the mileage. We are getting ridiculously close to turning the odometer over for the third time in this car's life. That little bitty 6-cylinder makes that kind of a rumble. Not bad. Not bad. Really? 58? Oh, that's one of my favorites of all time. Boo. I love it, Ian. Ian is more of a fan of my wife's car, Project Lena. He loves that sleek body style, that 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. That is his car. Boo. Anyhow. Boogity boogity boogity. I scare the dark. Somebody hold me. So that should give you an idea. Project Spirit, without a doubt, the Ian's booing Project Spirit. He's a fan of Project Lena. That's his favorite car in like the whole wide world. He's a huge fan of Project Lena. That's okay. He could be a fan of any car he wants. But Ian's the leader of the Project Lena fan club. I wouldn't mind having a 1958 Plymouth Fury. Gorgeous looking car. For those of you who do not know. Oh, no. I like my classics. I love my classics. Myself personally. My dream car is the 1957 Chevy. That's my dream car. And the 1957 Oldsmobile. And the 1958 Chevy Impala. The 1959 Chevy Impala. Good. I'm glad you two are okay. I'm glad you two are okay. You guys know that that I love you both. Think the world of you y'all. So Project Spirit. Mm, you might have to get in touch with me. That's very tempting because Project Spirit's still got a lot of work, and I almost wouldn't feel it would be right to you. I mean, unless you're just looking for something that's unusual and unique. The Mavericks are unusual and unique, that's for sure. Most people go for the Mustangs, but you'd have to get in touch with me on that. And, grab my email and yeah. Yeah, I know what the 1958 Plymouth Fury is. Believe me, I know. That's not a joke. I know. Those had very interesting designs, and they were very quick for their time, but they were more cruisers than bruisers. And I like my cruisers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know he's offering me Christine. That would be, I'll tell you right now, it'd be interesting, that's for sure. Right? You know, my email, well, we hand it out to, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible to get in touch with me. So if you ever want to just talk, I mean, I'm cool with that. I will be glad to just talk. I'm cool with that. So that's what we're looking at doing tomorrow. So I know Ian's at least happy that he'll get to see Princess Faye in action doing artwork at some point. That's the plan. That's the plan, my man. Yeah, didn't they shoot it in reverse? The damage being done in reverse, and I think there might even been inflatables and stuff like that. I love that car, but I hate what they did to it. All those cars. It's kind of like if there was one reason why I didn't like the Dukes of Hazzard, it was because of the cars they crashed. That's really it, because you can't replace those cars. It caused a shortage of 68 and 69 Dodge Chargers. I'm not a Mopar guy myself. I'm more of a Chevy kind of guy. But for the record, um, I'm not the biggest Ford fanatic. Yep. See, I actually knew that. I think you might have told me, Sean. Be honest with you, I think I remember somebody. I think somebody was. It might have been you. So that's part of the plan for tomorrow, getting some work done to Project Spirit. And I love that. I'll tell you, you'd be surprised. Yep. Night, Chairman. We'll see you later, buddy. So that's just one of those things. I myself love cars of the 50s. Gorgeous cars came out of the 50s. Of course, a few turds came out of the 50s. I am not a big fan of the Hudsons or the Etzels, believe it or not. I know some people have kind of, you know, regained that fondness for the Hudson Hornets, but I'm not a big fan of them. I just don't like the way they look. That's just me. Nothing against the look, I just not a big fan of it. If I wanted something that looked like that, I'd get a 1953 or a 54 Chevy Bel Air. That's just the way I see it. Um, but one of my, but then, like there's so many awesome cars out of the 50s. The 59 Chevy Impala, I love those cat's eye taillights. Oh, Supreme always teases. No, no, I didn't call myself a turd. I said there was a few turds that came out of the 50s, you know. I can be a turd, but that's everybody. I love you, Ian. You know, um, but like cars of the 50s, I love cars of the 50s. Um, the 57 Ford Fairlane, oh my gosh, beautiful ride, beautiful car. 57 Chevy Bel Air in any form, including the Nomads and the four-door wagons, sedan deliveries, you name it. Even the trucks were gorgeous at that time. 57 Corvette, oh my gosh, that's like $1 million car right there. So if that's any indication, along with that, um, gosh, there's just gorgeous cars from the 50s. I mean, 57, the 57 Oldsmobile. He just razzes me about it. He calls project. He's like, you forgot to clean up a certain pile of trash. He's like, right there, and he points at Project Spirit. I'm like, fuck you, dude. But I'll tell you right now, he gives props where props is due because he knows that I put a lot of work into that car. When we got Project Spirit, she wasn't exactly ooh la la. Oh, really? I would love if I was going to have a replica of any card. Well, Ian, I'm going to have 2 cigarettes. So it's time for a smoke. You were talking to Queen at the time. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm a turd for that. So it's just one of those things. You know, if I was going to have any car that was a replica, I would probably either have a General Lee, just because it's cool, or I would have to have um, the Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch, or Kit from Knight Rider. Either one of those three. Those would be any one of those three. And of course, you might even say, well, the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit was just a basic, car from Smokey and the Bandit. It was just a basic car of the time. So, I mean, you could just get one and restore it. You're done. Those cars are, yeah. For those that do not know, Project Spirit is a one-of-a-kind car now. She's not my dream car, but she's awfully close. She's getting there. We're looking ahead at doing a V8 swap this next year, things like that. It's really neat. Uh, how Project Spirit has come a long ways. But let's get on to the next part of this stream. I've got a $10 cook-off challenge that will be taking place this weekend. The $10 cook-off challenge is you have to get your supplies from Dollar Tree. You can't spend more than $10, and that does not include tax. Okay? So it's 10 items. All right? So let's start with the first item that's going to be on our list of things. Best I can. We're going to be using just regular old American long grain rice. Okay? That is on the agenda for tomorrow. Along with that, keep an eye on things for me. Okay, we're going to be using some pork loin chops. Some of these have got the bone in them. It will not matter to me. I've got a total of 3 of them here. And then, along with that, we're going to use some stir-fry veggies. The stove moved. I figured as much. Gosh dang stove. So, those are 4 items right off the bat. We're going to be using some imitation some real imitation bacon bits. Okay, real imitation bacon bits. Along with that, part of the seasoning. We will be doing some marinating with some teriyaki sauce. Teriyaki. We might even use a little bit with the actual meal itself, but we're going to need to do a little bit of marinating as well. So we're going to need to do that. Along with that, oh, I love that car. I just think it's a neat looking car. Very 80s, very 80s. We're going to be using some in name Parmesan cheese. This is all from Dollar Tree. And that is pretty much the meal. That's 8 items. So that left enough to get some sparkling grape juice, more or less, because I cannot have alcohol. So there you have it. That is our supplies. So part of tomorrow will be kind of the work that's going to be involved in that. Hi, honey. I did some shopping today, honey. I had to go pick up a couple of odds and ends. So that is where that is. Oh, you're back? I just talked about the $10 cook-off that's going to be happening this weekend as part of the Sunny's collab that's going to be happening this weekend. So we're definitely going to be doing that. It is going to be for Surviving Romance. So there's going to be some work done to Project Spirit. There's going to be some cooking done this weekend. There's going to be at least 2 different cooking live streams that's going to happen this weekend. And then there's going to be a lot of work done to the cars. Well, to Project Spirit more in particular. So that is the plan. There is my beautiful, gorgeous wife in the chat right now. It's so good to see you in chat, honey. Thank you. There's our friend Hartford. So that is the oh, well, I'm definitely going to need that. Definitely going to need that when it comes time for the $5 cook-off. The $5 cook-off. But everything that you have to use, the only thing I won't be counting is if we use like black pepper or salt. You really can't count that because, I mean, it's kind of part of it, but it will be definitely including it. So that is kind of the plan. So again, Project Spirit, a little bit of paint work to her air cleaner. We're going to be changing out a fuel filter. We're going to be doing, the PCV filter, and we're going to be installing a brand new air filter into the air cleaner assembly once the paint cures. So that is our plan this weekend. That is weather permitting. Now, we may have to jockey things around a little bit if the weather turns sour. I'm ready for you to come home, baby, but I know you got to finish work. It's just one of them things. So that is our plan. Now, somewhere in here, we've got to do that test stream and see about Fortnite because we're actually putting together a team for Fortnite that's going to be doing arena tournaments. We already started. I'm already in Division 3, so we ain't even playing around. We're moving. Ian is, I think he's already out of Division 3. He's booking it. Yeah. So we're putting together a team that we can kind of interchange the players, kind of willy-nilly, sort of thing. It's one of those things that we want to compete. And I don't know how Princess Faye is going to feel about that. When we were doing what we were doing, Ian and Raven carried me. I'll just say that. They carried my ass. That's what's up, though. Sometimes you got to do that. It was real funny once we got out of arena. There you go. There you go. See, and I knew Ian would be. Ian's an amazing player at Fortnite. I mean, just amazing. So we're definitely getting into that. I'm just about there, to do that sort of competing sort of thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've never done this sort of thing, competed like this, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So we're definitely down for that. So that is the plan. Along with that, so there will be probably a test stream tomorrow night late. Oh man, that would be awesome. I would definitely do that. I would definitely turn that into. I will tell you right now, I've been wanting to do a ribeye episode. To be honest with you, I've been wanting to do ribeye. But I can definitely do beef fillet. I can probably really make something nice out of that. Might have to do a little bit of research before I did it, but I could do it. I know I could do it. I'm one of those guys that if you challenge me with something, I'll do it. I love to I love to cook. I love to cook and I love to work on cars. I hate having to fix cars though, ironically enough. I hate fixing cars, but I like working on them. And I know that doesn't make any sense. I hate making repairs, but when I'm going out to customize it, I love it. That's just one of those things. I enjoy that. I'm weird that way. So if you ever wondered about that, um, so that is the plan for the weekend. Again, I have to go to work for a little while tomorrow, which somewhere in this convoluted mess of my office, I've got to get this cleaned up. This is bullshit. Uh, you know, um, it's out of hand in here. It's out of hand. Filet mignon. Oh my gosh. There's actually a guy who's supposed to be teaching me how to make filet mignon. An actual professional cook, and he's supposed to show me two different ways. I'm supposed to get with him after the pandemic kind of slows down a little bit, um, and him and I are going to be talking about that. So he's going to show how to make an expensive one and how to make one on the cheap, which I'm looking forward to that already. So tomorrow I have to, like I said, I have to go into work for a couple of hours and do my thing. I have to do like a little bit of light repair work and a few heavy clean things. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Um, Along with oh, I'm getting on Fortnite, but I'm not going to be streaming it. Right after the stream, I'm going to go on to Fortnite for a little while. I'm not a big fan of how Gordon Ramsay talks to some people, but I know I love the way he talks to kids. He's a good guy there. Along with that, we're also going to be cleaning out Project Spirit's carburetor, so I picked up some more carburetor cleaner. And along with that, um, we're going to be putting on a new breather. Okay, the one that's on there is been on there for a while, and these actually need replaced every now and again too. Um, right. Along with that, I have to go into work and do some soldering tomorrow, so I get to break out. I get to play with fire. So that's tomorrow. So that is what the weekend looks like. All right. We've got a lot of projects on the table. Weather permitting, we're going to get some stuff done. So that is our plan. Now, again, I'm not going to stay live super long tonight because I do want, I got more prep work to do. And of course, I'm going to be getting on Fortnite and continuing on, hopefully, on our journey. you know, uh, sometimes it is Supreme. So that is our plan. That's kind of what's going on. So tonight, this was kind of just the prep work that goes into the channel a little bit. Ah, kiss my butt. All that filing to do. Springview honorary ass. No, it's okay because I still got to show Derek a couple of things at work. I got to show him a couple of things. So it's one of those things. It works out. And then while I'm at it, I got, like I said, I got to do a couple of repairs because if not, we're gonna have to call Danny. and I and so many people do not like him. Okay, okay. So that's kind of the plan for the weekend. Um, that we've got a lot on the a lot of good things on the plate, and hopefully we'll have some good content. Monday night, it looks like that we may be doing right, right. I need coffee too. So that is our plan. So I hope all of you are going to be joining me this weekend as much as possible. Yeah, I gotta have my coffee. I actually knew a guy one time that his name was Joe Coffee. I don't know if it was his real name or not, but he was a funny guy. Really funny. I think he actually might have actually passed away a long time ago, but there was actually a guy named Joe Coffee that I knew years ago. I think he passed away though. His health was bad then, and really funny guy. Yeah, we might see about squeezing something like that in. I know you want to see Zelda playing. I know how much. For those who do not know, we have a little kitten named Zelda. After I did, after I did a marathon stream of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, believe it or not, um, Princess Faye brought home a kitten and we named her Zelda. And right after I finished that stream, she's on your team. Why not? Ian, isn't it time for a cigarette break? It's time for a smoke, isn't it? So Zelda and Ian is on your squad. Okay. Ian and Zelda. I don't know if Ian's going to be down for that. Reminds me one time I had to get a CAT scan, and right after they gave me the CAT scan, oh me too. Right after they did the CAT scan, I told Princess Faye, I said, you know what I heard when I was inside that machine? Your assistant is Rose. There you go. That's awesome. My mom's name is Rose. Really funny. You might like this. Uh, um, when I went to go get a CAT scan, when I came back and I told Princess Faye, I said, you know what I heard a whole lot? Ah, you know what I heard a whole lot of while I was inside that CAT scan? And she's like, what? I said, I heard a lot of meowing. And she's like, oh my God. She thought that was funny. Oh yeah, I love my wife. I need to get her. I don't think she'll do arena though. Queen Bee says that she's taking you and Zelda as her teammates for competition. She's taking you and a kitten. Ian's gonna face palm in a second. I know he is. You've tried arena? I've been. We're moving right along in arena. That's different. Is it French by chance? My assistant is my wife. Without her, I would not be able to do what I do. My wife's amazing. No question about it. Mm-hmm. Um, I know one time French Canada was talking about breaking away. Breaking away and becoming their own country. I don't know if that ever actually if that's still on the table, or if the Canadian government kind of works some deal out. Because I know a lot of, huh? Your team. I don't know how Zelda would play. Oh, Mike, yeah, Mike G's good too. Mike G and I actually, in his live stream, pulled off a W. If you'd like to, Ian, I'd love it. I'd love it. If you'd like to, I'd be glad to be in your stream. It'd be an honor and a privilege. That's what's up. Joyous. Where Zelda's good at hiding. That's what's up. Zelda, yeah, she is. She'll poke around here every once in a while. For the record, we've done live streams where we had Zelda playing, and those streams were like really successful. Oh yeah. Night, Kevin. Appreciate you being here, buddy. So that's kind of how it looks for the weekend. At this stage of the game, though, I do need to shut it down, or we're going to shut it down a little early tonight. So again, if you've been with us a little while and you enjoyed it, great. Be sure to smash the like button. Appreciate you guys. I do really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. It's been a great stream. We've had a lot to talk about. Had some questions. Did my best to answer them. But, I'm looking forward to getting some work done. Project Spirit, that's my baby. I love that car. And if all goes well, in a couple weeks, she'll be going into the shop to get her transmission done. And I'll be rocking an automatic. I'll miss driving stick. I'll tell you that right now. I'll miss driving stick, but it'll make things a little bit easier on me. It's hard to get parts for those old standard transmissions. So, alrighty. That brings us to our stopping point, as tradition goes. And I'll see you just shortly, Ian. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate you. All right, so that brings us to our stopping point where I get to say to all of you, get out there and work on... What? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. All right, so... I don't know. That brings us to our point where we get to say... Get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is. Just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.